Hello, everyone, and welcome to the exciting conclusion. Last round lead card action from the 2022 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell. I am Jeremy Koling, and I am joined, as always, by Paul Ulibarri. And we have a barn burner. But first, let's get to this big sale reminder, guys. Today is the last day. Sale ends tonight, 30% off discs. Paul.
20% off accessories, 20% off apparel like hats, shirts, 50% off. Never not throwing hoodies.
Never.
Sale ends after the final round of the Championship Cup. Visit JomezPro.com. Link is in the description. Thank you for supporting Jomez. And oh my gosh, the major is about to be won today.
That's right. We have our leader 30 under, 10 under average. Circle one in regulation, he is in first at 54%, birdie percentage 56. Ricky Wysocki, folks. He is a closer. Calvin Heimburg, one back. And if he can close this week, this would be so special for the guy. He has been right there in the mix so many times and has come up just short. What would this win mean for Calvin? We will see if he is able to do that today. Chris Dickerson, he is two back, and he has had already an incredible season. 2 Silver Series wins. Reigning U.S. champion. He has been playing incredibly well so far this year. And the new face on the card, Gavin Babcock. This guy right here is a ton of power, incredible forehand, and so far, C1 putts 100%, Paul.
For the whole tournament.
Hasn't missed a putt inside the circle in the first 3 rounds. If he can get over maybe potential nerves, first time on a major, last round, lead card, and putt well again, who knows?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Hole 1, par 4, 660, dog leg left. Throw it straight left side, drift it to the right side, or there's a tighter hyzer to try to get around the corner.
Out of Scottsdale, Arizona, 4-time qualifier, including winner of the 2021 Ledgestone Open, Richard Wysocki.
Ricky is so comfortable here at WR Jackson. Won his second world title here in 2017. Also winner of the Hall of Fame Classic and his first ever major back in 2011 at the PDGA Championship. And look at the drive on hole 1. That is blistered.
2021 Ledgestone Insurance Open champion, Calvin Heimburg.
This course is really set up well for Calvin. Do you not agree? Just the way that these fairways are shaped.
I really do.
Just that right there. It looks like a tight line for most people, but for Calvin, that is just a walk in the park. An eagle nearly up where Ricky's drive is. Those are 2 great drives.
Winner of the 2021 GMC, Chris Dickerson.
Perfect.
Yeah, wow.
Oh,
okay. Didn't quite have the same steam as Calvin's drive, but still middle of the fairway.
Yeah, it's hiding behind that tree. We couldn't see it.
My name is Gavin Babcock. I'm from Altoona, Iowa, and I've been playing disc golf for 7 years, starting in 2016. I've wrestled for 15 years. I kind of found disc golf in high school a little bit, and once I found out that there were tournaments and everything, the seasons were perfect. Wrestling was from October to February, March, and disc golf in Iowa, that's right when snow starts to melt, so it's March to October. I wrestled at Central College in Pella, Iowa, just a little D3 school. Playing disc golf while wrestling in college was difficult at times because it definitely eats up a lot more of your time than if you're in high school. And so anytime there wasn't snow on the ground in Iowa, then I'd find myself over kind of on hole 18's basket and just putting. And didn't really get too many rounds in the winter, so I was always by March just itching to go out and play. And then as I kept improving in skill, played my first national tour event, DDO, and I tied for last cash with James Conrad and Ben Calloway. And I was like, oh, that's like kind of cool, just first one. And like maybe if I like put in a little more work, I could do this. So like the signs kept aligning, and then got picked up by Prodigy, bought a van, and just fully committed. And the 515 Des Moines area support crew and my family has been behind me 100% of the way. I've never played WR Jackson before this weekend, but this is my favorite style of course. Just a beautiful wooded, very scrambleable, no artificial OB. It's all woods, natural OB. It's easily my favorite course I've ever played. I think this course suits up well for my game because I have a pretty strong sidearm, and almost all my approach shots, if I get the chance, will touch sidearms. And I think that when I play to miss on the correct side, it will always set me up for a good approach to the basket with the sidearm. I'm super competitive, and I want to win. There's no reason I can't do something like yesterday again, and there's been crazier comebacks, and I don't see why that can't be me today.
From the land of wrestling, Iowa, home to wrestling greats like Dan Gable, Cale Sanderson, currently Spencer Lee. If you're a good wrestler from Iowa, you know how to win. And that's a good forehand right there, and good placement. Gavin has an impressive power with that forehand, so that coming up short does not put him out of position for the birdie by any means.
Jeez.
Okay, that is yeeted.
That was so good. It was just peered, man. Opposite side of the fairway, we're going to see Gavin go, and he's going to give me anxiety again today. You want to know why?
Tell me.
The last round he shot where he had 100% circle 2 and 100% circle 1.
Yep.
All of a sudden, that's like a normal thing we do now.
Yeah, we're seeing that.
Well, not we, but we as a tour.
We as commentators get to see it. Mm-hmm. And we got to feel the anxiety about every time they step up to a putt, can they keep it going?
He said, that's so bad. Don't think you meant to go between those two trees, but at this stage, you'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to need a little bit of love out here in these woods at Wildwood Park.
Wow. Pretty good.
Yeah, couldn't have drawn that one up any better for Ricky. Great start. And right off the bat, Chris Dickerson saving the birdie from out of position. And you were talking about this a bit earlier in the tournament about how this course forces the circle 2 make. And we just really haven't seen a ton of circle 2 putts in the way that we normally would imagine, and especially out here, which is a course that demands it. Right off the bat, we have 2 from outside the circle connect.
Yeah, whoever's going to take this title home is going to have to make some circle 2s, period.
Three outside the circle. That must have been right on the edge. I thought that was inside, but my goodness, nicely done. And we are going to have a star frame to start off the way we would like to. Last round lead card at a major. Hole 2, par 3. Widest fairway you're going to have on any par 3 on this course. Simple, soft drifting hyzer through this gap here over the creek. Really only one way to play it. It's got to be a hyzer flip with a mid-range or just a hyzer with a fairway driver. Ricky going back with that felon. He's had good results on this hole this week, and I think they'll continue.
Bullseye.
Ricky's looking dialed right from the start. Getting that follow flight as he deserves. There's just at no point was this not going to do exactly what he wanted it to do. It's just perfect.
Yeah, so good. So controlled. So slow. You can see how slow he is compared to even Calvin there with the move that he does is very compact and quick.
This Calvin just eats these holes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is basically designed for his eagle.
And then Chris with his form is going to be right in the middle.
He's going with a DGA bonsai. And this is a little bit early and a kick left out to circle 3 area.
Little inside. Can he beat the few trees? Okay.
Yeah, yep. Back edge of circle 2, maybe.
That's going to test that 100%.
That's right. And a bit of a soft run for Dickerson. He's trying to make it, but come up a bit short. Oh, great looking run. Those putts don't necessarily test the nerves, but the putt he had on hole 1 certainly does, and he made that thing pure. So good sign to see Gavin, a player with no experience here at quite this level, looking comfortable from the get-go. And really interested to see if he's able to manufacture a similar front nine to what we've seen from him in rounds 2 and 3, where I think he shot 7 down both times.
That's
Something
right.
like
It was a 6 down, yeah, both of those rounds, which was just incredible.
Yep. And we've talked about it many times, but the front nine, certainly the harder of the 2 nines. But don't tell Ricky and Calvin, as they are off to perfect starts, 2 down through 2.
It might have actually been a 7 under and a 6 under. I'm not sure. Whatever it was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And he loves this front nine. Speaking of holes on the front nine, Jerm.
Yeah, hole 3 is a par 4, 726 foot, and this is an actual S shape. This is the perfect S shape hole. You have to make a decision off the tee if you're going to go big or if you're going to lay up early and then try to throw a longer second shot. Ricky has been laying up on his tee and then going big on his second.
Been working out, though.
It has. Yeah, Judge off the tee, just a putter.
It's been working out very well for him. That's
not the worst.
Very good. Yeah, that's fine. I think he has that hyzer window or straight window again.
If you get past or left side of that stump from the tier's perspective, that angle for the hyzer is dramatically cut down. So that'll be something to look out for on Ricky's approach. Calvin clearly electing to go for the ridiculously huge turnover.
And that might work out as well.
There is a straight path to the pin up there. Very narrow, very low ceiling, but I think Calvin might have even outdriven that landing zone. Chris also electing to go for a big shot and actually a very generous kick. That's going to put him in prime position.
Speaking of working out, Babcock is
a hoss.
jacked.
He's a hoss. And look at that power, just a little effort there. And big distance accuracy.
Starting to make sense on why he's playing so good at this course. He's so far being very disciplined in his game plan and really picking, like he said, he wanted those sides of the fairway to miss so he can have those sidearm up shots. And hole 1, he did exactly that.
That's right. And Ricky will have a circle 2 putt to keep that perfect start going. How open this tee is really entices that big Anheuser play to see so many players go for this shorter tee shot.
If he beats that set,
Yeah.
he's got a backside circle look.
Chris with the fortunate redirection off the tee, makes good with his approach. This is the thing I don't understand about this course, how these guys are so far below par. They keep throwing the disc exactly where they want, and they avoid the trees. And I just don't understand the second part. Because for the most part, I feel like I have the throw my disc pretty much where I want part down. It's the missing the trees at the end that I don't quite understand.
Right, I throw mine forward most of the time.
Yeah. So Calvin did outdrive the landing zone off the tee, but gives the basket a huge run on the hole that he won in the playoff against Adam Hammis back in 2019. So he'll have a little, I wouldn't even call it a tester for par coming back. Ricky got that nose down. Not enough power. That'll be a par. So Chris with an opportunity to make up the shot lost on 2, and he does.
Little cleanup here for Calvin. Little 18-footer. Made it look kind of tough.
It was nice to hear Calvin acknowledging Chris's nice birdie in the middle of their battle for this major title.
In the past, have you been kind of a shutdown? No compliments to your cardmates?
I think I've regularly maintained for my entire career. If I'm playing well, I'm pretty chatty with the card if they want. I'm reading the room. If someone's trying to stay quiet, I'm not talking. But I think Chris and Calvin are usually pretty receptive to conversation if they're on a card with someone else who is also.
See if Chris can get this 327-foot par 3.
Too tight.
A little early.
And it can get tricky in there. It didn't look like he kicked left, but still anything early is in a bit of danger. Ricky hangs onto this one, and that's a...
Oh, great second tree.
I missed the second tree. I definitely saw that first one rocket off to the right, but... Oh my goodness. So this is a hole we have seen star framed the last 2 rounds.
Final round, lead card.
Yep.
It's that handcuff.
These fairways get a little bit smaller.
Yes.
Or they tend to.
Big moment here for Gavin. If he can hit this fairway, maybe gain a couple.
Get clean through everything. Sit down. Put him in the circle. He's comfortable there. Absolutely. Great shot from Gavin. And that's why he's the Scramble King. Chris gonna have to go with the skip play as well. Look at that. That's that's what I'm talking about. That's the missing the trees at the end part that I don't get.
Trying to figure that out myself.
Always able to appreciate
that was a great look right there. Of all the trees in, that was a 2-foot wide gap. Puts it right through. This is all the trees like we're talking about. Gavin, big moment here. I mean, 4 back's doable.
Boy, look at that putting motion. It is nice. It is nice. And he's going to gain a stroke on the card, and he's going to move to 2 under, and that's going to tie him with the whole card. He's lost nothing. He's still 4 back. Anything is possible. Like he said in his player profile, I mean, he believes in himself, and when someone believes in themselves, you got to believe in them. Taking a look at the beautiful, tight, daunting, narrow hole 5, par 3, 432 feet. Slightly downhill, maybe?
Slightly, yeah, I believe so.
Ever so slightly downhill, but doesn't mean that it's easy to reach.
No, that doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
Downhill.
It's a full throw.
Uphill. Doesn't change this shot.
It's a full throw because you have to... He said, give me the grill. Oh my gosh, did he... Okay, he did not grill it up, but he did get himself a sick birdie.
Back-to-back sick birds.
Absolute laser beam line.
Give me a grill.
I love it. Oh, that is good. At this point, with Connor O'Reilly's CTP standing from the first drive thrown in the weekend, if it was taken down now by this last card, I will buy Connor O'Reilly that Rectech grill.
Very good.
Don't. Okay. I didn't know how
Wow,
close
that
it
is
was.
nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little
Smooch.
tickle.
Yeah, smoocheroo. Oh, scramble time.
But yeah, this fairway, again, full throw, because no matter what disc you throw, fairway driver or mid-range if you're Eagle McMahon, you have to get the disc to flip up and fly straight, and you just can't do that with a soft throw. You have to power through, which is generally Calvin's strength, but this time he is off just barely, and he's going to be in deep trouble here. Maybe even worse than I thought. Going with the forehand roller. And
At least it dribbles out.
yeah. Oh, no. So the Ricky... Oh, my goodness. Like, turned into a flick roller, but still outside circle 2 probably is what Ricky's going to be looking at for the par. This is the hole we saw Ricky have a little bit of fits with, and...
Oh, no. Not a mistake we see him do very often. Not a mistake we see anybody do on a lead card.
And that's a prime opportunity for Dickerson after the little smoocheroo kiss back to the fairway to just lay one up. And he's looking at getting 1 on Ricky, potentially 2 on Calvin.
Meanwhile, Gavin's over there just chilling.
Just parked. And that's going to be a 5 for Calvin. Not good timing. Ricky leaving that one low. He knew out of his hand. So don't look now, but goodness, Gavin is about to be within 3.
Little cleanups.
And he hasn't even
Aisle
got...
5.
Everyone's going to tap in their bogeys, pars, and doubles before Gavin even gets to his drive. That's a good feeling. First to drive, last to tap out. That is a rare thing to do in the last round at a major. Incredible birdie there for Gavin Babcock. 16 other players birdied that hole as well, which is just... It's why this is the toughest field in disc golf history. Hole 6, par 3, uphill, blind, double route hole, 366 feet. Probably uphill 30, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, this one you want to push that right side edge, but one thing you don't see is those trees on the left, they kind of get in your head just a little bit because you actually want to push next to the ones on the left. Otherwise, to have the speed to get up the hill, you're going to hit the trees on the right because your disc is going to have to fly straight for some time to get through this gap. See how it gets to those trees fast?
Yeah, it got to him too quick.
Now let's see if these other competitors can kind of hug that left side just for a second.
Just early, right off the bat. And then...
But that's scary because if you hit one of those, you're toast.
A little bit late.
This could get bad. See how he gets through those back 3 trees?
Yeah, and a good bounce back shot from Ricky. Very similar to the drive that we saw him throw in round 3. Very inside, 2 inside. Bad stretch for Calvin.
Tough little up shot here. It actually plays favorable for a sidearm approach.
I think it sets up favorable for a forehand drive as well. You don't have to manipulate the early trees as early. You can kind of keep the disc in the middle of the fairway the whole time if you can keep that disc on that right plane. And a good scramble shot from Gavin into the bullseye. Impressed with him so far.
Me too.
I've been impressed with this game since the first time we played together, but It's nice to see it on the big screen here.
I don't think I've ever played with him.
Played a couple rounds, I believe. Worlds last year was the first time I played with him, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. And off left side, and if you had told me that Calvin Heimburg on 4, 5, and 6 would go 3 over par, I would not have believed it. And if this ends up being a close match, Calvin's going to be looking back at this stretch and thinking, man, what if? But at this point right now, he is going to have to turn things around and get back into this fight because he is not out of it by any means. But he needs to find some confidence somewhere and bring it to hole 7. Good birdie for Ricky. And speaking of 7, what are these guys going to try to do here, Paul?
First thing, hit the gap. Kind of makes you a little nervous right off the tee. These guys are so good, they don't have to worry about that. You want to throw something with a little bit of hyzer that's going to push around the corner. Now, don't get it too flat. Don't throw something too fast. Otherwise, you'll push the boundary of those deep trees on the right side of the fairway, and that's what you don't want. If you try to take some off, then you can end up left into the wood line. So it's really a standard hyzer through a tight gap. And this looks fantastic.
Ricky's going with the distance driver with the enforcer, but he's kind of going like a 65-70% throw. He's not really ripping through on it.
Right. If he throws it really hard, then you can take on the right side trees. Obviously past this gap.
Gavin going with the 750.
Like this one needs to hurry.
3v2. If it doesn't hurry, yeah, that's going to be in trouble. If there are some pockets back there, you can get lucky through the back door and get really far down the fairway, but that's not the case right now.
You're also throwing downhill, so the lower you throw, the faster your disc is going to speed up, therefore get to that backside. So you see, Dickerson does a great job of using the height to his advantage.
Mitigates that distance.
Exactly. That way he can kind of punch it through the gap, not have to worry about going deep, and then lands in a perfect spot. And I expect Calvin to do something similar.
Calvin does like to throw a little bit more of the line drives, but maybe he'll raise it up. That's a little bit higher of a shot for Calvin. And that's pretty much exactly what he's looking for. Put himself in a position. Just don't get hemmed up.
Hemi.
Next to the tree, not a good break. If that was just a foot lower, I mean a foot shorter or a foot longer, he'd be in a much better spot. Did this... Okay, that's great. Circle's edge.
Yeah, just outside.
Yep.
I mean, stand still, back to the target.
No,
a
that was
hyzer
awesome.
from 350.
Probably something like that.
Go in.
Yeah. Ricky's looking good. He's playing well right now. Chris from perfect position off the tee.
Gets lucky.
Was that?
I think so.
It's hard. It looked like the camera angle maybe changed a bit because I was thinking the same thing as you, but maybe it did.
I think you went through the right side trees. Hey, it had the right shape, and that's what you got to do.
You threw the right distance. Hey, that's a good result from anything right of the fairway. Getting to where a putter is the next disc in your hand, you're going to be happy with it. Especially with makeable putt. This is a full send here. You just uphill the whole way.
Over the top. That's tough to do. That's a lot of power. This is almost a must-make at this point. Not a must-make, but he's gone through the ringer the last couple holes. This would be a nice Band-Aid.
Definitely a need to make. A want to make, and he did a make. Calvin, great birdie there. That was a super tough second shot.
Okay, so he was still only down 4 shots there.
Yes, he was 4
Okay,
back.
yeah, I was thinking that the double bogey must have cost him big, but
Well, I mean, it did.
no, but I mean like
Out of it big.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I misspoke there, but I apologize.
I mean,
Once you start getting to that 5, 6 mark,
yes.
but 4, and it really is a big difference when you're talking about that.
It's just like the course only allows you to make up so much ground. So it's just 5 is tough to make up. Moving on to hole 8. Par 4, 645 feet, dog leg right. It is an early turn. Doesn't take much distance to get to this corner. Very easy to overpower this fairway. Yeah, it's a delicate forehand or a backhand mid-range or putter to get to that position, and from there it's uphill 330 thereabouts in that prime landing zone up to the pin.
Monster.
That right there, folks, and I have said this every round, and I've meant it, but that might be the best shot I've ever seen on this hole.
Agreed.
The backhand has the potential to go longer than the forehand. Forehand's just a safer shot to get to the fairway. Disc is trying to get down to the ground. But the problem with the backhand is it wants to drift back out of the fairway. Somehow Ricky managed to get the turn and the glide and the accuracy and the sit. Perfect shot.
Don't know. Looked inside, but
Yeah.
he could catch that right edge and have something.
Quick, concise motion for Gavin. But you see that little forward bounce pushing him to the deep edge of the fairway.
He said he likes the sidearm approach, though. Going on the left side opens up that backdoor sidearm shot.
Yeah, and really, no matter where your drive lands, if you're somewhere near the fairway, you should have a forehand because that sidearm anhyzer.
That's awesome from there.
That's
Sorry.
No, you're right. That was a great shot. The sidearm anhyzer is an option. Also, this inside flip up tight gap, which is the one he's choosing to go for, is also an option. But it's just a lot narrower down that left side.
Are you guys planning on making a trip? I highly suggest IDGC. It just doesn't do it justice on camera. As I'm watching it and I'm watching these beautiful shots thrown, the trees are so tall that it just...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it manipulates the angles so perfectly, and the fairways are actually wider than you think just because the trees are so good or big. I mean, look at this.
Ricky, I didn't like the approach. It was going to just drift away from the basket the whole time. Did not get the right angle out of the hand. It's going to have to make a long putt to save the birdie now.
The work that they've done on this course, I mean...
Oh, it's just taken years. It's been slowly building and sculpting and shaping and limbing and, making slow decisions. Are we going to take this tree or not?
Oh!
And this is the best iteration of this course we've ever played, and it's only going to get better.
And if you want to play 2 other decent courses, they're on the property too.
Oh, Ricky.
Oh, there he is.
That is a birdie save. When you throw a drive that good and you mess up the approach, that putt is huge. That'll bring Ricky to 4 under now. And Chris follows suit. That's a great birdie. He is also at 4 under.
Have you ever noticed how he goes from super spinny putt to like a floaty non-spin Dickerson? It's fabulous. I mean, like, the control you have to do that. I sometimes I just think, like, is that accidental? Did he really mismake it? You know, it didn't spin in there real good, but I think it's intentional. It's a good putt there from Gavin, and nice cleanup for Calvin.
The intricacies of why Chris Dickerson is so good is fascinating. It's like it looks like such a simple product when you watch him play because he has such a robotic routine. He does the same thing every single time. He does that little fake swing. He does a little fake putt. But when he throws the disc, watching why he's able to repeat is just fascinating. It's the thing about disc golf that makes it still fun after all these years that we've been playing and grinding and battling. The mental. And he's able to control that with that routine and with that concise form. And that's what makes him great. It's what makes all these guys great.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, although robots do what robots do, they are also some of the most complicated things out there. And that's Chris Dickerson right there in a nutshell. I mean,
and Ricky's drive was looking to start to shape down the fairway and ended up getting a big kick left. Chris's, however, hits that road that you want to get past, and he is in a good spot now.
Calvin's 5 back. That's his.
Yeah.
That's
no more.
No, I'm going to tell you, just no more.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good way to start the not being 5 back anymore with Ricky kicking left, just going ahead and ripping 100 feet past the road is that makes this hole a lot shorter.
There is another thing about this hole. I mean, if you don't make it across a creek or into the creek, which look at this gap, it seems big on camera. It is not.
Just again, come to IDGC.
Yes.
Just come.
You can
play
go
this
into that
course.
creek and you have to go to the drop zone. Found that out today.
Well, serves you right after yesterday saying that you haven't seen anyone miss that gap in so long. I was on that box today, and I was just thinking to myself, thanks, Paul. You've ruined it for me.
Oh, I ruined it for myself.
I ended up throwing the forehand just to get through the gap, and when I got to my lie, about to put my knee down on the ground to straddle out to the fairway, and there was a snake right where my knee was going to go down, and I about had a heart attack.
Gavin trying to go that left side backdoor route. A little early on the sidearm approach.
Chris, that just didn't really come close to any trees at any point. That was
one thing
really
about
nice.
one thing about Chris that I love is how controlled the putter and the mid-range game is, as far as simple angles, not a lot of flip up, right? On the angle, thrown to whatever spot it is. Not a great upshot there from Gavin.
And Calvin needing the easy up and down. I shouldn't say easy. You can see the trees.
No.
But for him, he's got to. He's got to make it easy.
Yeah, this level, he's inside 200 feet.
You have to get up and down. So maybe he can still make the putt, and he can do what Ricky did on the last hole and save the birdie. With Gavin now, he is going to be
first bogey of the round.
He's going to be 6 back.
That was the number we said. Don't do that.
Huge opportunity for Calvin, and he is off. And that is a painful par to take.
Very.
And Chris now an opportunity to get within 1. And he takes advantage of it with a 5 under front 9.
Pulls him within 1.
And if Gavin had repeated that 7 down or 6 down front 9, he would be right there in the mix. And that was the difference right now, because he is going to be essentially out of it if these guys do what we expect them to do on the back 9.
Yeah, and that's the thing playing at this level is you get that far back. You're not just that far back of these guys. You're that far back of probably 10 people at this point, or 6 to 7 people to where now you're not only having to catch like one leader. These guys are Calvin. I mean, look at some of these scores.
They're hot right now.
Gannon Burr, fellow Iowa guy.
7 down that front nine. That hot score that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Emerson Keith, he is 6 under. A lot of movement going on as we expect. The conditions are the best of the weekend right now.
But with that all being said, the back nine is so scorchable. I mean, 3 par 5s, 3 eagleable par 5s. Can't wait to see how it all plays out, my man.
Well, I know who is going to see how it plays out, and it's the Founders Club, because they are our best fans and we love them. Thank you guys. Okay, Smoochy Poo. Thanks for following all the action. We have seen 3.5 amazing 9s of disc golf, and we have 1 more, or 3.5 rounds of disc golf. We're about to see the last 9 holes of the first major of the 2022 season. It's coming right up.